back to Studio F on Fast Times Willy B. We'll be reviewing Werewolves. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell.
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I got Court with me. Court, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So today, we'll be reviewing Werewolves, the latest horror film to hit the theaters, directed by Stephen C. Miller. He did the 2012 Silent Night remake, so has a little bit of a experience in the horror category looking at his filmography. Nothing major. I'd say that's probably the biggest picture he's done.
Yeah.
But we got Frank Grillo in this movie. An actor that we've seen before. So we'll start with the good. And where do you want to start?
For me, I thought just the overall, concept of the movie was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. It was almost where werewolves meet The Purge.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Yeah, I would agree with the concept is pretty cool. And some of the story's cool.
Yeah.
We'll get into it, but it's easy to follow. It's at times fun. Mm-hmm. At times scary too.
Yeah.
It's just there's some good action. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting concept for sure.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it made me think a lot of The Purge, and I love those movies just because of the action.
Yeah.
So I thought in terms of the similarities of the two, it was a pretty cool movie.
Yeah. Other things that good. I thought the transitions of the werewolves were pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I thought they looked good at times. I think there were certain angles that made them look good, and then certain angles where you're like, you can tell that's effects. But I thought it was cool that we got your basic looking werewolf. It was cool to see that. Again, I thought the transitions were cool. Definitely cool within the concept. That would be a hell of a night to experience.
I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah. Supermoon's coming about.
I probably wouldn't make it out alive.
I feel like the only way to go about this would be either have a boat that you can go on the night or move out somewhere where there's nobody else.
But you'd have to cover the boat too, though, because
yeah, that's true.
So how would you do that?
If you have a yacht that has a downstairs section,
yeah, I guess that's the only way.
Drive out to the middle of a big lake and sleep.
I guess that's the only way you're making it out alive.
I mean, the werewolves have to swim to get to me.
Yeah.
I don't think they're making that happen. I think they're just kind of staying in the land. That was the big thing. They're living in a city where houses are right next to each other. You're bound to get in some trouble there.
But also, what kind of caught me off guard was near the end. I thought once you turned into a werewolf, you were gone. You know what I mean? I didn't expect when it was daylight out that they would turn back into human.
I figured that because if you looked at what was her name? Amy Chin. Her husband volunteered as one of the guys. And you could see his scars because he transitioned the year before.
Oh, yeah.
So you come back.
I remember that part now.
Yeah, you have scars. So, I think that's interesting. I think it's crazy, that you kind of have some control, but at the same time you don't.
Yeah.
He turned into a werewolf and he knew he wanted to fight Cody, but then he was after his family.
Yeah.
With Wesley I'm talking about.
But he kind of held back
a
little bit. So you have some control, but not really.
I think Frank Grillo was great. I really liked him. Yeah, I thought he was...
He did a great job with his role. Yeah,
great lead. Great action from him as well. The moon pace was kind of a cool little, tie in there too. Like you said, I mean, the concept is definitely the coolest part of this movie. There was a lot of material that maybe I would have gone a different route with, but overall, it was an interesting story.
Yeah, it kept me somewhat invested.
Yeah. Is there anything else you have in the good?
No, not that.
Okay. So we'll hop over to the meh. One of my main mehs is the score. it felt very Call of Duty.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
Anytime like something intense was happening, it would just turn into like this like Call of Duty mission theme, and I'm like, no, I'm not immersed. Like I'm checked out a little bit, you know, because now I'm focusing on that, and I'm not focusing on the. I would have liked more of like maybe an eerie or horror driven score rather than a more of a combat action, you know. So score was definitely the meh for me. Probably the meh would be some of the writing and dialogue for me.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of, you know, messy conversations and not the best line delivery at moments maybe, and you know, there was times where you're just like, that wasn't good.
Yeah.
This is where I'd also put the effects, just because I liked the look of the werewolves in the transition, but there were moments where the werewolves definitely did not look real.
Yeah.
And you could tell that they were effects. I'd probably put I don't know her name, but the girl that played his sister-in-law, Wesley's sister-in-law, I'd probably put her in the meh. Her pep talks to herself.
See, that was the part where I was like, other than that though, I thought she was okay.
See, that's why I put her in the meh. Like, she had moments where I really liked her, but then like the pep talks, which is not her, that's the writing, but like just some of the delivery was very bland for her in like intense moments.
She didn't deliver it the way that you would expect to deliver it in that moment.
Yeah. And I mean, her character alone, I'd put them at just because she's shooting a 12 gauge shotgun at the ceiling, knowing that she can't be touched by moonlight. And I'm like, and wasting bullets.
She was just shooting into random rooms, and I was like, what are you doing? You're gonna run out.
Yeah, I would say definitely some of the character decisions, and that's a trope that we get a lot in horror films is dumb decisions. But I was sitting here and I was like, I don't think anybody's that dumb.
Yeah. And how do you just find that one miscellaneous bullet on the floor?
Yeah. Other than the climax or like the final fight where we get Wesley versus Cody as werewolves, it lasted like 30 seconds.
I was expecting Cody to put up a little bit more of a fight.
Yeah. It was cool, the ending we got with him, you know, ripping the head off, but like... Yeah, it definitely wasn't... It was anticlimactic, to say the least, in how fast it ended. But yeah, I mean... I don't know if I have anything else than that.
For me, it was kind of just like... I feel like I lost interest at some points in the movie.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest paced, and the first act, I think, is a little boring. I don't like the introduction, how it's kind of typed out to us. I'd rather they have showed us.
Yeah.
Maybe like a flashback to the first supermoon or something.
That would have been cool.
But like how it's typed out in an interview style, I didn't love
because
that.
Because it really didn't explain, like, obviously there's a supermoon, but like, it really didn't go into too much depth of why the supermoon is causing this to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, like, there's just questions you have, like, why... How do the werewolves work? Because obviously, like, they're bloodthirsty for human blood, but like, how come Wesley could turn and realized he wanted to kill Cody, but all the other werewolves like kind of teamed up with each other? Like, so do they have can they think cognitively, or are they beasts? There was just inconsistencies in that, and that's where I go back to the writing is definitely in the meh to the bad area.
Yeah, I don't think there was necessarily any bad for me.
You know, we can hop over to the bad.
Yeah.
I would probably say the writing. I don't think this was a very good written movie. Like, I don't think it was very well written.
I could see that.
Like I said, I think the concept was cool, but I think there's a lot that could have been done differently that would make this movie a lot better than it was.
I just thought a lot of the writing was somewhat bland.
Yeah. Like, it definitely took from a lot of different stories and made it one.
Yeah, which... I feel like if they would have just made it their own story, then it would have been a little bit better.
Probably. I don't know if I have anything else. I guess I would move from the mad to the bad, the decision making of some of our characters.
Yeah.
Because it was just, some of it was really dumb.
Like when she started shooting into the random rooms, I was like, okay.
That, and when the, what was it? Did I say it was Amy? Amy, when she's like distracting the wolves and she like screams at the wolf and it screams back, and they are in the clear and she runs to the car and stands there and smiles and then gets scooped up.
Yeah.
Like, get in the car.
Like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, 5-10 seconds pass by and she's not in the car, and I'm like, what is she doing?
And then she gets scooped up and killed, and I'm like, that was stupid. Who would do that?
Yeah. And that just seemed so weird to me. I wish they would have at least showed her attempting to get into the car.
Yeah. So that would be another one I'd throw in the bad.
Yeah. I definitely think, like, the acting just wasn't...
The acting wasn't terrible. Like I said, I think Frank Grillo was spectacular.
I just think the lines were somewhat bland.
Yeah,
like,
I think that goes back on the writing a lot more than anything, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, the decision making too, I was like, okay, you gotta make these characters a little smarter.
Would you say that that's your typical...
Yeah, I get it. It's a trope. Like, you know, we got that commercial where, like, why don't we go behind the walls and hang the chainsaws?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's a trope, but it's at this point been so overdone. And it's to an extent of how stupid they are. Like, there were some really dumb decisions in this movie.
Like, dumber than anything I might have seen in any other...
Yeah. And that's where I'm just sitting here, I'm like, really?
When she started smiling, I was like... What is she doing?
Yeah, get in the car. But I mean, that's probably it in the bad. This movie has a good mix of good, bad, and meh.
Yeah.
It's a pretty even movie.
I think this is a one and done type of movie for me. It
doesn't have a lot of high replay value.
I don't really think it's something that I would watch again. No. But it's something that maybe during Halloween time I'll just throw on.
Yeah. It's something I won't watch again, but I'm not mad I watched it.
No. It was a cool concept, like I said.
Yeah. There were moments that were cool. There was moments where it felt it was tense and it had me on the edge of my seat.
Oh yeah.
And there were moments where I'd be like, okay.
Where I was just like, I could go without seeing this.
Yeah. So we can hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with Werewolves, and what do you give it out of 10?
I would say at least go watch it and see how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Like, don't write it off based off of the meh or the bad.
Yeah.
Go see it and see how you feel about it. Form your own opinion.
For sure.
And I would probably give this movie, for me, I'd say a 7. 7?
Okay. So you liked it a little bit. For me, I'm probably I'll go flat 5. I think it was just a pretty average movie. I don't think it was like all the way bad, but I also don't think it was good. So I'm just gonna go right down the middle and give it a 5 out of 10. Cool concept, aspects are cool, the werewolves look cool, transitions are cool, or transformations I should say. But, some bland writing and some dumb decision making kind of bogs it down a little bit for me at the end of the day. So I definitely agree. Go check it out. And
I just don't want to give it too low a score. That's why I'm going a little bit higher than a 5.
Yeah,
because there were a lot of parts that kept me interested.
Yeah,
but not enough to where like I really like this movie.
Yeah. Nonetheless, like you said, go check it out and see if you like it.
Yeah, see what you think.
See if you don't like it.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But there's certain people.
And it's only an hour and a half, so like
this movie. Yeah.
It's not like you're taking a whole bunch of time out of your day. That'll do it for Werewolves Court. Thank you for coming on, my man.
Thanks for having me again.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, please check out some of these other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. Anything is appreciated. Go check out Werewolves if you haven't already, and let us know what you think. And we will talk to you all soon. Peace.